Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Solar panels. It's becoming a big thing these days, and California is now the first state to have a requirement for residential solar panels in every home built after 2020. Well, not every home. There's some caveats there. But nonetheless, it is a mandate that is meaning that there could be an increase in silver, according to this article from Times here. California will require that new homes include their own solar panels beginning in 2020. State officials announced Wednesday in the latest step to position the state as a leader in clean energy. The decision, praised wholeheartedly by the solar industry, has the potential not just to grow demand for solar panels in the country's most populous state, but also to reshape the debate about how solar technology should be used. For years, researchers and clean energy advocates have debated the best way to use solar energy or technology, whether it's most effective in large utility-scale power plants or on the roofs of homes and businesses. Consumers like being able to control their rooftop energy source, but opponents of rooftop solar argues that it's significantly more expensive than solar power from large power plants. The unanimous decision from the California Energy Commission signals that rooftop solar is here to stay, and just as an afterthought for wealth individuals who care about the environment. And while California's market is huge on its own, the bigger potential comes if other states follow suit. That has happened with a whole range of energy and environmental policies, from the 13 states that follow California's emission standards to the 28 that follow California's lead in setting a minimum level of renewables in their electricity mix. Such a shift could mean a big change in the solar business. Thomas Werner, CEO of SunPower, a leading U.S. solar company, said he expects residential solar installations to grow from 10% of his business to 20% after the mandate takes effect. This is potentially the beginning of what we'll see across America, says Thomas Werner, CEO of SunPower, a leading U.S. solar company, who we just read about 2 sentences before. Why mention it again? If California proves that it's something that consumers want and the economics work, then the other 28 states will follow. More residential solar also concerns big utility companies whose business relies on building big infrastructure to ship electricity to consumers. Utilities have argued that too many customers moving away from getting their electricity from the grid could threaten their business model and eventually their ability to provide reliable power. To that end, utilities have spent lobbying dollars trying to kill policies that allow residential solar to survive, including rules that allow customers with solar panels to sell excess energy back to the grid. The fight isn't over, but California's move signals that utilities need to think about how to adapt their business. Now, this is obviously a slanted piece and is no surprise coming from Time magazine, but the basic premise of this is that solar is growing, and as far as the legislative and regulation aspect of it, California is certainly the lead in that, and other states have followed in the past in regulations, more progressive states. And so this will certainly be one of the things where other states may follow suit. Now, from what I understand of the mandate, it is that homes that are being new construction after 2020, but they have to have a certain square footage, and I think they're multi-story homes as well. I don't think it's single floor dwellings or ranches, that type of thing. So it's not all houses, all new construction, from what I understand of the law. And also, this article didn't state, because of its slanted measure, that it's going to cost, it's going to add an extra $10,500 onto each home. And boy, I tell you, as many of my faithful viewers know, I have a solar panel system in my home, and if it would have cost me $10,000, boy, I would have been a very happy camper. But it was much more expensive. It just goes to show you that the price is going down. The problem with this is it's a mandate. The free market, California is already the leader in solar technology. And my feeling is most people, is more and more people will get solar when it becomes economically viable. And it's obvious that it's more economically viable now based off the free market system than it was even 3 years ago when I got my system, or almost 3 years ago. So it's fascinating to see where the technology is going. I believe it will thrive, but it will thrive on based off of the free market. Now, the question about this is, what's it going to do with silver prices? Well, my feeling is, depending on how many three-story homes are built in California, and will this mandate actually hamper the housing market, which is already under stress in California, and if these mandates do continue, will it put that much stress in silver? My argument is no. It won't have that much effect on the price of silver, because I believe between now and then, more silver will be mined. And even if we've passed peak production of silver, there's plenty of it around to be shared. And conservative estimates, or liberal estimates, say that there's about 20 grams of silver in each solar panel. And you multiply that by a number of panels, or how many are mandated, and it just depends on how many are mandated for these new homes. It didn't say what the size of the panels are, how many are required. Is it enough to provide all of the energy, or is it enough to provide half the energy for the home? We don't know what that mandate is. So it's really hard to say, but my guess is if it does, it will be a very small dent in the price of silver. And not only will I say because of that, but also they may use substitute materials if the silver price goes up too much. There's some talk about replacing silver with aluminum as a conductor in solar panels. And although that won't be as effective, or some other material. And who knows, graphene itself may develop by then and be used in industry. It depends on how fast that technology moves. Right now, it's not viable to be able to produce on a massive scale yet. So there's a lot of different factors out there, but there it is. What do you think? Am I completely off base? Do you think that the California's new mandate, and if it spreads to other states, that it will greatly increase the price of silver based off of the demand for solar alone? Post your thoughts below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude, y'all, for watching, and encourage you to please rate, comment, and subscribe.